Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Rush Hour, released in 1998 and is directed by Brett Ratner, who has also directed such films like Rush Hour 2, Rush Hour 3, and that piece of shit X-Men The Last Stand. And this film is starring Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, and Tom Wilkinson. And the reason why we're talking about Rush Hour today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my subscribers and contributors on this channel, Dr. Camp. You strike again with a nice little recommendation of a film that I remember growing up really loving and enjoying. Watching it today, though, with today's sensibilities, there are a lot of offensive things said in this movie. Chinese consul Han's daughter has been kidnapped, and the FBI is hard on the case of finding her. But Han enlists the services of a Chinese detective that he knows and respects, called Detective Lee, played by Jackie Chan. But the FBI doesn't want him mucking up their case, so they enlist the help of LAPD officer James Carter, played by Chris Tucker. And the reluctant pair go around town trying to find the kid, and end up being best friends by the end of it. This is what the 90s were known for, having these low-level officers going out and doing something against like FBI or some type of higher-ups, but going against their own will because they're street level, they're a man of the people, they're officers of the people. And I was shocked that this film actually came out in 1998. I could have sworn that it came out in like 2002, 2001, somewhere in the early 2000s. To know that this is actually a 90s film makes me feel very, very old. But it also makes a lot of sense because in the 90s, when you have a buddy cop film, action comedy film like this, you could say a lot more things that you could get away with, as opposed to saying those things now, where your film would just be scrutinized for saying them. But I think that's where this film's charm comes from, because both Carter, especially Carter, and Lee say things about the other person's race that could be taken very stereotypically and very offensive, but it's really just an example of their personality and their work ethic, because really their main goal is to find the kid. Their main intentions are absolutely pure. They mean no hostility behind all the shit-talking that they're doing. I feel like a lot of it is to Detective Carter's way of interrogating and getting into crime scenes, because he will just say anything and will keep talking until whoever he's trying to like get around or get through security, if he keeps talking and confuses them or annoys them enough, they'll just let him on in. It's annoying, but it's kind of brilliant. And then all the action scenes and the stunt work, of course, are great because it's Jackie Chan. That's who he is. That's what he's known for. He does all of his own stunts, and I watch these movies really for the blooper reel so I can see all the times where he messed up or something didn't land in his hand correctly and pointing the gun and the gun is pointing the other way or something like that. It's amazing. I feel like I've seen this film many times because I think it's like always playing on FX or TNT or TBS or something like that. So I feel like I've seen at least half of this movie 100 times. But for the life of me, I always forgot of why the kidnapping and all of the bad things, evil things, were happening from our bad guy, Tom Wilkinson. And I always make a joke on my channel that in order for a film to be called a film, you need to have at least one Skarsgård in it. Well, I think the same could be said for Tom Wilkinson. If Tom Wilkinson is in your movie, it's a movie. The guy is in everything. He's a fantastic supporting character. He's always this side little role that comes in at the very end or at the very beginning. But it shocked me that the reason why he was doing all of the bad things was because he's an art collector or an art history collector, and because Consul Han stole the collection, or at least bought the collection from him, and it's in his name, that pisses off Tom Wilkinson's character so much that he's going to kidnap the daughter to get his money for him to get away. It's Snidely Whiplash. We need to have a villain here to have a villain for villain's sake. And there's no better villain on this planet than an English white man, so there you go. Rush Hour is a classic comedy, a classic action comedy that I think is a staple for anyone who wants to get into the buddy cop story or really just action films in the 90s in general. This does feel like a 90s film. The suits that you see in this film are very, very 90s, with the blazer buttons going all the way up here. It's like, no, dude, bring that all the way down. I like the styles nowadays, that's for damn sure. But it's a ton of fun, and are offensive things said for comedy's sake, yes, but I think in the end it's all done from a place of happiness and a place of enjoyment, so I'm able to sit back and relax. I can definitely understand, though, if someone out there watches this movie for the first time and gets offended by what's saying and all the stereotyping things being said, and even Chris Tucker talking very slowly, because that's a very American thing to do. When you have someone coming in that doesn't speak English, you talk slower and louder, because that will magically make them understand what you're talking about. That's the American way. Oh god, this country. I'm gonna give Rush Hour 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next. The next one comes as another PayPal recommendation and donation. Getting to all of my PayPal donations that I've kind of skipped over for these last couple of months because I was doing a bunch of franchise watching, so we're getting back to them. This one's from Zachariah Kennison. You recommended the movie The Mark of Zorro. I'm a big lover of The Mask of Zorro from 1997. I love Zorro altogether, so why not check this one out? Never seen it before. So guys, if you've seen Rush Hour, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.